have the confidence, patience, and courage to handle the problems, condemnations, hurtings, blamings, hatings from the people. Avoid having the sad and cry unnecessarily. That weakens you and also that gives other people the more strength to hurt you, blame you, and to hate you. So be happy, my son. Content 6. Don't serve eyes. Our eyes should not have the dirty looks. If our eyes having dirty looks, we intentionally involve in thinking and watching the dirty photos, dirty videos, dirty things, and also we will try to enjoy them. If we have the dirty looks, we intentionally watch other people in a sexy way and also think in that way. That forces us to do the sin toward them without any compromise, without thinking any other things, because sin is more stronger than our strength. It easily makes us to do the sin. Of course, we are not interested to do it. Like that, it makes us sinners in front of the God and people. So save your looks, my child. Don't look at this sin. And other thing we have to discuss is there are more things we have to say. And the next thing we have to go for is here. Our eyes should not be filled with unnecessary desires, unnecessary expectations, unnecessary emotions toward the people and the things. Sometimes that makes us hurted, avoided, neglected, and being felt ashamed by the people. So be careful, my child. Our eyes should not be filled with unwanted things like jealous, ego, pride, selfishness, anger, scoldings toward the people. That hurts the people and builds an uncomfort and misunderstandings to break the good relationships between the people. So remember these lines, my son. Never forget these. Our eyes should not be filled with hypocrisy. When we warn the hypocrisy, our eyes will talk about the good things, but in our heart we are filled with the bad things. We talk about the love, but our heart is filled with the unwanted things like pride, ego, selfishness, hurtings, hatings, blamings, murmuring, self-praising, etc. We talk about law, ethics, and morals, but our heart is filled with the criminal thoughts, selfishness. We talk about the divineness and righteousness, but we filled with the non-righteous and evil thoughts inside our heart. We say that we are loving the people, but we don't love the people. We won't be thankful to them. We show the partiality or familiarity toward the people. Stop doing this, my son. Stop hypocrisy. Be honest and humble. Be righteous. Be thankful to the God and people. Be genuine to the God and people. Be trusted by the God and people. Our eyes should not be looking toward the other sides in all the necessary moments when the people are talking with us. That reflects our negligence, avoidance toward them. That reflects that we are witnessing the boredom and dislike to have their presence with us and to spend time with them. As a result, they will be hurted, they feel unloved, unrespected, avoided, neglected. So our eyes should be straightforward in all the necessary things to reflect the truth and love. So be careful, my child. Our eyes should not be filled with fire or angry unnecessarily toward the people. You may be angry, but don't do the sin. Don't stay on the anger always. Clean your soul every day and every minute by removing all the unwanted things like anger, jealous, pride, hatings, unforgiving, blaming, cursing, etc. from your heart. Forgive the people at all the times. Our anger builds the uncomfort environment to the people to come to us, to love us, to continue the good relationship with us. So our eyes should be cool, shiny and smooth so that creating the comfort environment to the people. Act with wisdom, my son. Our eyes should not have the nature of partiality or familiarity toward the people. If we are having that partiality or familiarity, our eyes will see and love and respect, select the worldly eligibilities, and that behaves toward the people in that way only. And we will leave the God's law, righteousness and thankfulness toward the people. For example, the person having the beauty, job, money, fame, own vehicle, big building, and also the person having the gifts of spirits, just like a gift of prayer, gift of healing, gift of singing, gift of preaching, gift of leadership, gift of prophecy, gift of tongues, gift of knowledge, gift of wisdom, etc. That person will be selected first by us to receive the love and good respect, good honor, etc. from us. Because we think about our own comforts, our own thoughts, our own righteousness, and we give the last priority to the people who don't have the above eligibilities, above worldly eligibilities that we want from them. It is wrong, my son. We have to give our first love and first honor to the people, those who are loving us more and those who are honoring us more among the people around us. After that, we have to go for the second more loving person among the people around us. After that, we have to go for the third more loving person among the people around us, and so on. But don't try to neglect anyone. Love all the people within the equality, but may not be equally. Try to show the grace upon all the people, but follow the above conditions and follow the above order of priority of loving, honoring the people. If we think and practice the acts of equality toward the people, we will have the wisdom about that equality. Then that equality reflects in our eyes, and also to some extent. This partiality or familiarity will hurt the people. It mainly hurts more to the people who are loving us more. This partiality or familiarity will break the good relationships between the people. So, be away from this partiality or familiarity toward the people, my child. Our eyes should not be in boredom toward all the good things and necessary things, because this will hurt the people and make them to feel sad, alone, unloved. This boredom will build the uncomfort in other people's heart to come to you, to love you, to talk with you, to spend time with you. So, my children, it is not good. So, be careful, have patience and love toward the people. Our eyes should not be narrow open or widely open toward the people in all the necessary situations. It should be well tuned to all these situations, because it hurts them and builds the uncomfort in their heart towards you. It will be an obstacle between the two. Our eyes should be as normal as tuned to every situation, tuned to every emotion, every love and every sad. Our eyes should not be sleepy intentionally to avoid, to neglect the people in all the good things and necessary things. If your eyes are sleepy intentionally and not concentrating toward their words and emotions, it hurts them and make them sad and cry, because they feel ashamed, feel unloved. Try to be an enthusiasm to love the people, to understand the people, and to bear the people. Give a good smile on your face and on your eyes toward them with love. Content 7. Do think like this. Our thoughts will influence the way of we see, influence the way of we talk, influence the way of we approach, the way of we respect and love the people. Our thoughts are very strong. Those can lead us to either be blessed or cursed. Those can lead us to either be won or lost. Those can either be strengthen us or weakens us. Those can either be given life to us or they can throw us into the fire or death. So be careful, my children. Save your thoughts from the unwanted and dangerous thoughts which will harm you. If our thoughts are corrupted, that leads to the corruption of our words, deeds, and eyes. So be careful about your thoughts, my children. Those should be in the way of truth and love of God. Now we will see how our thoughts should be toward the people. Our thoughts should be such that to meet the other people expectations and demands in all the good things and necessary things. It means, for example, if they loved you and expecting some love from you, think that you have to love them as like you. You have to be thankful to them. You have to follow the commandments of God toward them. After that, try to show the grace upon them to glorify the God. For that, your thoughts should meet their expectations and demands in all the good things, even though they not loved you. You must love them. You must have to forgive them. We have to think in the way of justice, in the way of thanksgiving, in the way of loving and forgiving, in the way of showing grace upon them, in the way of God's law and His commandments toward them. Try to fulfill their good expectations or demands. Our thoughts should be holy. Our words should be holy. Whenever our thoughts are holy, then our eyes will be holy, our words will be holy. If our thoughts are evil one and impure one, we will be corrupted throughout our words, eyes and deeds. When our thoughts are holy, the other people feel comfort and love to talk with us, to love us, and they love to spend time with us, and they love to love us and to build the good relationship between us. Our thoughts should be in the way of thanksgiving. We have to remember, analyze, understand the things, peoples, and surroundings. We have to remember, analyze, understand the people's good things, love, and dedication towards us, including their unseen and silent love. Then we have to act accordingly toward them. That is the law and thanksgiving toward them. Our thoughts should have to measure the people's good things and love towards us correctly. It means that we have to undergo in a deep watching, deep understanding of their good things, love and dedication towards us. After that, we have to estimate their eligibilities to receive from us. If we estimate wrongly, we will be leaving the law toward them. So be careful, my children, act with wisdom. After taking the right measurements of the people's good things and love towards us, take the right decision in a right time. Try hard to meet their good expectations and demands. Although they are not deserving that much of love or things from us, our thoughts should be such that those should use a standard units of measurements and standard methods of measurement. It means that we have to measure the people's good things and love with the same standard units and standard methods of measuring as that of the people done towards us. But don't be against the God's commandments and His laws. Our thoughts should be such that those will be forgiving all the people at all the times without any partiality or familiarity. Because of our God, Jesus had forgiven all our sins by his holy blood. It is a commandment of Lord that we must have to forgive all the people at all the times without any partiality or familiarity. Forgiving is a great quality of God. Forgiving the people makes us to be loved by the people. Forgiving the people is not an option, but it is a commandment of God. So, our thoughts should be in forgiving nature, but should not be like an enemy. Our thoughts should be such that those are blessing, encouraging, supporting the people in all the good things and necessary things without any selfishness. It is a great thing, my son. It reflects your maturity in love. Our thoughts should be such that they are understanding the present, past, and future situations, present physical and mental conditions of the people and their behaviors. These are necessary to love them, to take a right decision, and to give judgment about them. Our thoughts should be like that. They have been following the love, truth, and grace toward the people. Then only we are able to satisfy them with all the good things. Our thoughts should be matured in all the good things and necessary things. Our thoughts should be a goal oriented and fulfilling the needs or expectations or demands of the people in all the necessary and good things. Content 8. Don't think like this. Our thoughts should not be an evil one and impure one, because those are against the Lord and reaching the presence of Satan. Because those are the characteristics of Satan, who is against the God and against us. Those evil and impure thoughts will destroy us and throw us into the fire. So save your thoughts. Our thoughts should not be filled with an ego, pride, jealous, selfishness toward the others, because these are against the love and against the truth of God. These will hurt the people, harm the people, so we should not think like that. Our thoughts should not be in a revenge nature, should not be intended to harm anyone, should not be intended to hurt or blame anyone. These will hurt the people and make them sad and cry. This revenging is against the God and it is an evil plan. So never think like that, my son. Our thoughts should not be like that, having the partiality or familiarity toward the people. These are against the love and truth of God. This is the worst behavior that we should not have in our daily life. It hurts the people and makes them sad and cry. They will be getting away from you, so be careful, my son. Don't think like that. Our thoughts should not be such that they are misunderstanding the people. Of course, we will misunderstand the neighbors in some times, but we have to avoid those misunderstandings and angers. by our wisdom and love. Our thoughts should not be in an unforgiving nature toward anyone. It is against the love and truth of God. It is against the commandment of God. It is not good at all. Of course, they did many mistakes or sins against you. God told us to forgive them at all the time. We should not keep any anger, revenge for them. Forget their sins, forgive them, and love them. That is the greatest quality of God. Our thoughts should not depend on only one person's experiences or advices, but we have to go for at least 2 to 3 righteous persons' words or experiences. After that, collect a couple of good decisions from them. Select the best one to follow. Our thoughts or decisions should not be based on the outer exhibitions or outer characteristics or outer emotions of the people, because their inner character may be wrong. Their private character may not be good or may not be appropriate. They may be hypocrites. So act with wisdom, my son. Don't trust their all words. Don't trust all their emotions. Don't trust all their outer character blindly at all the times. Trust the reality, trust the true emotions. For that, you have to be well matured in all the things. Act with wisdom, my son. Remember these lines. Our thoughts should not be like that, cheating the people, harming the people, hurting the people. Our thoughts should not be like that, to perform the false words, false witness, and false witnessing actions about anyone or anything. God will hate these things because these are the characteristics of Satan. So leave that, my son. Be honest, be humble, be trusted by the people and God. Our thoughts should not leave or should not forget the law, limits, and boundaries toward the people. We have to perform the well balanced thoughts and deeds toward the people and God. So be mature and be wise, my son. Our thoughts should not be thankless toward the people and God. It hurts the people and makes them sad and cry. The God hates the thankless nature. It is against the truth and law of God. So we must be thankful to the people and God always. Remember these lines, my children. Our thoughts should not be intended to make or show others bad in front of the people. We should not intend to blame anyone unnecessarily. We should not try to discern anyone unnecessarily. We have to follow the ethics and morals of the God toward the people. Our thoughts should not be like that, underestimating or overestimating the one's values and eligibilities to be deserved something from us, and simultaneously leaving the ethics, morals, and laws towards the another one. It is against the law of God and it is thankless act. So my son, be wise, be matured and think and act accordingly. We have to love the people. Is it equally or within the equality? The answer is within the equality. This equality might not be as same as that of doing equally. Equality ensures the order of priority and thanksgiving toward the people. But doing equally will not be always ensured that in most of the cases. Equality ensures the law and thanksgiving toward every person, but doing equally does not ensure in most of the cases. Equality ensures the satisfaction or the happiness of every deserved person and then most of the people. But doing equally will not ensure the satisfaction or happiness of the deserved persons. Because doing equally means that it gives equally to all the people. That means gives equally to the deserved people and also undeserved people. It is okay in few things, but it is wrong and a big sin in most of the cases, where the deserved people are facing decay of their respect, honor, and love by you, where they are feeling unloved loneliness because of you, where they are cursed, be blamed, hated, hurted, and cried because of you. And it is your big sin that if it leads them to a suicide or harming themselves because of your equal scheme. You may think like this: is it possible? Equally loving the people will make us to be a sinner this much? Yeah, my children, it is possible. So be careful about how you are responding to the people. Now my question is that, but how can I able to satisfy the people or love the people enough if I follow the equality toward the people? My children, now I am telling some precious words. Just be calm and listen to me. We have to follow the equality, and also we have to follow another thing, that is the grace. First we have to follow the equality, then we have to go for the grace toward the people wherever necessary. But these two must satisfy these below conditions always. The conditions are given as below. Best deserving persons should not be lower than the next deserving persons in receiving the respect, honor, and love from us. Best deserving persons should be facing the first priority in all the necessary things, that may be love or respect, honor, etc., wherever required. In the most necessary conditions only, the best deserving people may be taken or chosen as equal to the least deserving people or vice versa. But these best deserving people should not be forgotten or neglected during the whole duration of the meeting or a discussion or a celebration, comparing with the next deserving people. The best deserving persons have to get the required gratitude, love, and honor by us. Here, best deserving people means not only best deserved persons, but we have to consider every deserved persons. These are the conditions that we have to follow to make the God and deserved persons and all the persons happy. This is the way of responding in a good way. We may not be satisfied, or we may not satisfy all the people by doing this, but we can satisfy the God and the deserved people. When we are following the above, mostly they will not be hurted, mostly they will not be feel unloved and alone. Otherwise, they will be hurted, cried, feel unloved and alone. In some cases, they harm themselves too because of you. They will not be able to respond or talk because of that pain. That is okay. It is not wrong, not a sin, but we have to think wisely. If they fear that any misunderstandings or hurtings may happen, or any bad things may happen, they will not be willing to talk or respond to us. It is okay, we have to understand. If they are holding any anger and hatings upon us, they won't be intended to talk with us or respond to our calls, words, text, and any other forms of communications. It is not correct at all, my son. It is against the God's law. We may be angry in some necessary situations, but should not hold that anger for a long time so that it leads them to be cried, to be sad, and so that it leads us to hate them, harm them, blame them, and curse them. We must forgive them at all the times. Now, let us consider a condition where there is a huge love between the two persons. That may be one-sided or a mutual love. If anyone in those two persons is being not talking or not responding in any way to the other person, it hurts them very much. It may lead them to have cried, and it even may lead to go for suicide also in serious conditions. First, we should not be intended to be muted or not responding toward the people so that it hurts them in generally. We should not intend to avoid or neglect or being muted toward the people so that it hurts them in generally. By mistake also we should not do, but for the sake of having them to be like a righteous man or to correct them with wisdom and love, we may avoid, neglect, and be muted toward them for a specific period, short duration only, but it is up to a limit of duration only. That limit is the limit where the other persons may feel hurted, which makes them to cry not more than 3 times. If you avoid them, neglect them, being muted to them for a longer time, that makes them to be hurted, sad, and cried. If that cry is above the 3 times, it leads them to make suicide or making themselves harm in any way because of you, because they loved you, loving you much, so that they are not bearing that much of mute or silence or not responding nature from your side. It is a potential murder, my children, then you are a sinner because you are not taking your responsibility of loving them, being thankful, having the law and love toward them. So be careful, my child. Now I will tell you an exclusive condition for which the mute or not responding or silence is a sin. For example, the first person loves the second person more, but the second person is not understanding his love, good things, dedication, and not being thankful toward him throughout his words, thoughts, and actions, and all his behaviors. It is a sin, because being thankless toward one is a sin. It leads them to make themselves suicide or any type of harm. Then that is a potential murder by you. You are a sinner, my son, because you are not loving them even to give life to them, but you are indirectly supporting their death to them. So it is a sin, my son. This is in case of deserved people. Now we will see in case of an undeserved people. Although they not loved as enough to receive the love or any good things from us, if they are asking you for love or anything, in that case, if you are avoiding them or neglecting them or muted toward them so that it hurts them, make them to cry more than the 3 times, so that it leads them to make themselves suicide or any type of harm, then that is a potential murder done by you. So you are a sinner, my son, because you are not loving them even to give life to them, but you are indirectly supporting the death to them. So it is a sin, my son. So from the above things, I am consolidating all the factors for which a silence or mute or not responding or avoiding them, neglecting them is a sin. That is, any silence or mute or not responding or avoiding or negligence toward the people which causes a physical murder either directly or indirectly is a sin. Either directly or indirectly. And also any silence or mute or not responding or avoiding them and negligence toward the people which causes harm in any form or which leads others to be made themselves harm or crying more than 3 times or making them to do suicide is a sin. Laughing by seeing others' pain or others' harm is also a sin, because it is against the law and love of God. So remember all of these things, my dear children. Be careful about your mute or silence or not responding or avoiding and negligence toward the people. Content 10. The medium of response. The unseen and silent love. My son, as you have listened about the love and grace, now I am telling you about the unseen and silent love or grace. My children, the unseen love, or grace is the inheritance of every human being which is stored in their heart, and the silent love is the love behind the one person and the love in their good touches. You all know about loving or showing the grace. However, you must understand the unseen and silent love or grace of other people towards you, because you should be grateful toward each and every person in your life. For that, you must understand and analyze every unknown and unseen facts in their heart, including their acts in front of you, acts with you, throughout their words, throughout their deeds. My child, this unseen love is in their memories, in their heart, in the vision of loving the one, in the vision of bearing the one, in the vision of helping and caring the one, in the vision of forgiving the people, in the vision of respecting and honoring the people, in the vision of sacrificing yourselves for the one, for their needs and benefits, for their satisfaction and happiness, and in the vision of doing the hard work for making others happy and smiling, in the vision of your true dedication in the love and truth toward them. My child, remember these lines. My son, one cannot understand properly or fully the unseen and silent love of others towards them. So these people will be hurting the one who is really loving them with a good dedication. These people will blame, hate the people, neglect and throw them away to whom they are in physically with good relationships. Who are really loving them will be felt sad and cry. In addition, as a result, these people will make the others sad and cry. So, what I am telling you is, my son, analyze their every physical act along with their unseen and silent love towards you, and be thankful to them always. Now, I am telling you the meaning of silent love or grace. This silent love or grace is the love or grace upon one person which cannot be dictated by the words, but it exists by the good touches. My child, I will tell you about these good touches. Touching their hands with love, touching their feet by hand with love, touching their face by hand with love, touching their head by your hand with love, touching their shoulders and keeping your hand on their shoulders with love, holding their hands with love, taking others closer to you with love, taking their head closer to your chest with love, spreading your hands for others and asking them a hug with love, hugging them with love, keeping your head on their legs or sleeping on their legs with love, giving them puppies means kisses with love on their cheeks, on their face, on their head, on their hands, on their feet with love, and holding them to your chest with love, holding them in your hug with love, making them to sleep on your shoulders and on your legs with love, etc. Not only this, there are many good touches which will love the people and make them happy. My children, doing the above mentioned things toward the people is a silent love or grace. My children, I told you in brief about the unseen and silent love. So remember these lines always. Analyze the others people good acts, including their unseen and silent love towards you, and be thankful to them always. May God bless you. Content 11. Get rid of anger, boredom, murmuring toward the people. This nature of anger, boredom, and murmuring will hurt the people very much. This will make them uncomfortable to come to you, to spend time with you, to talk with you, and to love you. These mainly break the good relationship between the people. So we have to come out of those unwanted things. Now we will see what we have to do when we feel this above anger, boredom, and murmuring toward the people. Anger is a sin, is it? We will see. We may get angry upon one person in some times, wherever necessary. But our anger should not be lead us to have the sin. It means we have to get angry in rare conditions only, wherever necessary. Our anger should not hold us, should not control us, should not lead us in all our ways toward the people that leads us to do a sin. We may get angry, but it should not be against the law and commandments of God. It should not be against the gratitude, and it should not be against the righteousness of God toward the people. It should not judge a righteous person as a non-righteous one. It should not punish the righteous persons because of their righteousness. It should not hate or blame or curse or hurt the righteous persons because of their righteousness. It should not be against the discipline in the God's way toward the people. Then that anger is not a sin. If it violates the above principles of God, it is a sin. Okay. Let us come to the point. What we have to do when we get angry upon someone oftenly or for many times, or if we get angry even for small things also. My suggestions are, when you get angry upon anyone, just close your mouth and close your mouth. Don't talk anything. If it is good to be silent, close your eyes so that you can't see them, and keep your eyes toward the sky or earth or any other sides until your anger lets go away from you. Remember always in your heart that our Lord Jesus Christ love, forgiving and patience towards us, and also his patience and love forgiving nature toward the all people, and open your eyes to forgive them and to love them. Try this method up to 1 to 3 minutes every time that you will get angry. When you get boredom and murmuring toward anyone, always remember and control yourselves to be walked in the way of Jesus Christ, love, forgiving nature, and patience toward the people. Murmuring bad about anyone is not at all good, my son. It is not a righteous one. So be careful, my children. Have hold the Jesus Christ's heart in all your ways. May God bless you. Content 12. How to receive the people or respond to the people in a good way. Now, I am consolidating above all the pages in a few lines about that how to receive the people or how to respond to the people in a good way. When they call you through a phone call or text, reply them as soon as possible for all their words if it is good to respond to that words with all your thanksgiving, loving nature, and with a pure heart. Understand they love good things and dedication towards you during their whole communication and time with you. Try hard to give the best loving response to them, although they had not deserved for that much from you. Avoid getting boredom and murmuring in anything. Try hard to love them. Most probably, don't get boredom and murmur to reply them or to love them anyway. If anyone asks you for love or help, or if they need any love or help from you, try to give the best thing that you have. That may be a physical need or mental need or physically needed or spiritually strengthening words or strengthening deeds. That may be love, friendship, or preachings, or suggestions, anything. Avoid neglecting, cursing, hating, hurting, blaming them, judging them, and having misunderstanding about them. Because these types of thoughts, eyes, words, and deeds will hurt them, and also it is not good at all in God's sight. It leads you to bear the witness of your sin. When there are two or more people in front of you or just near to you, you have to be careful while loving and respecting the people, while giving them priorities and obeying them. Because first you have to collect, understand, analyze, and estimate their individuals' good things, love, and dedication towards you. After that, you have to take a good decision that how to respond and obey to each and every person according to their eligibility, according to their necessary situations and the grace conditions with all your thanksgivings and love with pure heart. First of all, follow the equality concept toward the people and then follow the grace concept. Learn how to give thanks and being thankful to the people in all your ways. First to those who loved you much, and next one according to their good things and love towards you. Forget the people's hurting, blaming, causing bitterness and hating against you always. Forgive them at all the times, but don't intend to make a revenge plan upon them in any way. Love them always, have patience towards them. Love the Lord Jesus Christ first. Give him the first priority above all the people and above all the things. Give the Lord your best love, your best friendship, and your best of all. Best honor, best praises, and worship above all the people and all the things. Love all the people just like you with an equality. Show the grace upon the people. If any one is waiting for your help or for your love, no, don't neglect them. Be thankful to the people in all your ways. Don't judge anyone. Don't focus on their physical shapes and their outer characters only while taking the opinions or decisions or giving the comments or judgments. For example, seeing their beauty, job, richness in money, fame, authority, their physical shape, their hairstyle, dressing style, etc. Don't be foolish. Don't be shown any partiality or familiarity toward the people. Know that all the creations are made by the God. If you blame them, hurt them, or laughing by seeing their physical structure, means you are not loving the God and His creation. Advise the people within the range of you known correctly. Don't lead the people to a wrong decision, my son. You can reply wisely like this: I don't have enough idea about that, or I will tell you later after knowing that, or I will ask someone else and tell you later, or you ask someone else about that. So these are the best words that you can speak if you don't know about that particular thing. Be honest, be trusted by the God and people in all the things. Be a peacemaker, be a love builder, be a good advisor between the people for them. But don't be a destroyer of the good relationships between the people. Be a donor in all the good things toward the people. But don't expect unnecessarily anything from the people. Avoid expecting from them. Be a learner in front of the righteous people and in front of the God. Be obedient to the good things. But don't try to act like a preacher or an officer above the people. Respect all the people. Avoid rejecting their good proposals. Be humble to the good things and toward the righteous people. I believe that this book, How to Respond, has shown a good way to your heart, toward the people, toward the situations and the things. So, my children, be matured and act accordingly toward the people and God. May God bless you. Have the confidence, patience, and courage to handle the problems condemnations, hurtings, blamings, hatings from the people. Avoid having the sad and cry unnecessarily. That weakens you and also that gives other people the more strength to hurt you, blame you, and to hate you. So be happy, my son. Content 6. Don't serve eyes. Our eyes should not have the dirty looks. If our eyes having dirty looks, we intentionally involve in thinking and watching the dirty photos, dirty videos, dirty things, and also we will try to enjoy them. If we have the dirty looks, we intentionally watch other people in a sexy way and also think in that way. That forces us to do the sin toward them without any compromise, without thinking any other things, because sin is more stronger than our strength. It easily makes us to do the sin. Of course, we are not interested to do it. Like that, it makes us sinners in front of the God and people. So save your looks, my child. Don't look at this sin. And other thing we have to discuss is there are more things we have to say. And the next thing we have to go for is here. Our eyes should not be filled with unnecessary desires, unnecessary expectations, unnecessary emotions toward the people and the things. Sometimes that makes us hurted, avoided, neglected, and being felt ashamed by the people. So be careful, my child. Our eyes should not be filled with unwanted things like jealous, ego, pride, selfishness, anger, scoldings toward the people. That hurts the people and builds an uncomfort and misunderstandings to break the good relationships between the people. So remember these lines, my son. Never forget these. Our eyes should not be filled with hypocrisy. When we warn the hypocrisy, our eyes will talk about the good things, but in our heart we are filled with the bad things. We talk about the love, but our heart is filled with the unwanted things like pride, ego, selfishness, hurtings, hatings, blamings, murmuring, self-praising, etc. We talk about law, ethics, and morals, but our heart is filled with the criminal thoughts, selfishness. We talk about the divineness and righteousness, but we filled with the non-righteous and evil thoughts inside our heart. We say that we are loving the people, but we don't love the people. We won't be thankful to them. We show the partiality or familiarity toward the people. Stop doing this, my son. Stop hypocrisy. Be honest and humble. Be righteous. Be thankful to the God and people. Be genuine to the God and people. Be trusted by the God and people. Our eyes should not be looking toward the other sides in all the necessary moments when the people are talking with us. that reflects our negligence, avoidance toward them, that reflects that we are witnessing the boredom and